How it is that we now see with the eye rather than through the eye. William Blake had reminded us about the vulnerability of the eye gate. He says, this life's dim windows of the soul distorts the heavens from pole to pole and goads you to believe a lie when you see with and not through the eye. This life's dim windows of the soul distorts the heavens from pole to pole and goads you to believe a lie when you see with and not through the eye. We are intended to see through the eye with the conscience. But if you see with the eye devoid of a conscience, reality becomes disfigured and configured to serve the perpetrator's wish rather than providing you with the imagination parameters with which you can process these truths. Truth's primary property is in propositions. We have now made it in the visual. What was it that Simone Weil had said something like this? In reality, nothing is so beautiful and powerful as the truth, nothing so monotonous and boring as evil. Nothing is so powerful as the truth, nothing so monotonous and boring as evil. But with our media today, we have reversed this. Truth has become boring and flat, and evil has become varied, intriguing, attractive, and full of charm. The tantalizing allurement of evil. And then you come away with your hands empty and said, how did I ever go into this? Last weekend, we were doing meetings in Las Vegas, and I flew back on Sunday night. Somebody made the comment as we were leaving, you'll find the flight back very quiet. On the way in, it was very noisy. Everybody waiting to get to the tables, get to all that they do when they are there, with all the liquid refreshment and all that stuff. And the gambling, building their life on a deck of cards. They were right. It was so quiet in the plane. When you finish that moment of ecstasy, and whether you've lost or won, you come away with the same feeling. You say, is this all there is to it? Is this what I'm really living for? One woman we saw sitting at the table, she was gambling $200,000. $200,000 worth of chips in front of her, while the world is in desperate need. And think of the number of young men and women you can help globally in understanding reality and making something out of their life instead of burning paper and burning coins and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to say to you, I want you to understand very, very carefully, because I don't want you to misunderstand me. Malcolm Muggeridge years ago was in Biafra, and he saw the execution of some political prisoners. And as the executioners stood with their guns down on their side, and the lead executioner shouted, ready, aim, and they put their rifles up, somebody shouted, cut! My camera's dead. His battery was gone. And so the cameraman filming the proceedings had to call a halt so that he could get a fresh battery pack. And there stood the political prisoners, bound with the back, at the back, having to wait another few moments and go through the ordeal of about to be executed. Muggeridge, who was a media man, made the most astute comment in his book, Christ and the Media. And he said this, people may question wherein lay the greatest barbarism. On the part of the demagogues, on the part of the executioners, he said, some wise person will plump for the cameras. What he was really saying is that the power of the camera is so great to take us to the heights of bliss and glorious and imaginative thinking, but it is also imbued with the power to minimize the horror of what evil is really all about. Beware, you're moving in that genre of thinking where thinking is circumscribed and framed for you. Be discerning in what you watch, because logic may come in through the front door of reason, but the imagination is assaulted from the back door of desire and sensuality and all of that.